Good morning, everyone. So I was asked by David to look at approaches to course search. But as I said to David yesterday, it's just not about course searches. It's about organising and presenting stuff. So projects now are just not about building static sites anymore. They're about bringing dynamic content in. And we often get requests for presentation and searching of structured data. It's more than just web search. And a main example would be course searches or people directories, which are becoming popular. Lots of data of similar layout, and also coming from many different sources like other CMS or management systems, LDAP, research systems, or PeopleSoft, for example. The challenge is to how to automate publication, presentation as well. For example, responsive design is becoming more popular, and also ease of maintenance and update for the user. So here are just a couple examples that I'll go through my presentation using different languages like JavaScript, JSP, PHP, and so on. The first one I want to go through is Houston Community College. So they're bringing in 240,000 course combos via Site Manager. They had course and programs coming from an old system, and the scheduling of those courses were coming from PeopleSoft. So we had to bring that together through XML. So we used the content syncer and the data object to create an XML of all the courses that we search using PHP. So I'll just show the live site. So they search just for English, for example. And it just goes by the title of the actual course. So for example, it brings back anything that has English in the title. So that's just an example of bringing in content from multiple sources for your search. The next example I want to show you is from the University of St. Mark and St. John in Plymouth. We're using JavaScript for this example. So I'll just show you. So for example here, to filter, if I put in, for example, business, you can see that the titles change depending on what I type in. I can also search by the course level, like select postgraduate, for example, subject area, and all subject study mode. So basically what I'm doing here is, in the formatter, there's a list whereby the user can select the course level in a kind of a drop-down menu, and also if it's part-time or full-time, and also the subject area. So they will select that when they're adding the course, and then the JavaScript is checking that to see course level and subject area and bring back results. So that's just an example of course search just using JavaScript. For University of Portsmouth, we're using keywords. I like keywords a lot, as everyone knows. So what we're doing in this example is we're bringing back courses that have been tagged by a particular letter and also by the type. So if I go to the site. Because James Portman doesn't want to manually add all these course links, so we're just saying for this example to bring back anything that's been tagged as the letter A and then undergraduate courses. So this all comes back dynamically. So you can see it's very small there, but just in the very last element there, whereby they put in the primary letter for that course, for the keywords. And then just in the keyword navigation, I'm just saying here to use a content type called course keyword, whereby they can put in the type that it is and also the letter, and it will search then all the courses to bring back that letter and then the course type. The next example I want to show you is for the University of Derby, and they're using a PHP search pointing at an XML. So I'm going to log into the system just to show you, but I'll just show the live version first. So it's using PHP and Ajax. So if I put in accounting, for example, brings back the results. So I can also go by letter and also by the subject area as well. So when they're adding their courses, they use a course content type, and each course then is in their particular sections. So if I expand this, you can see every course then has their own section. So what we're doing is we're using that published one file then to actually output an XML of all these courses. So the XML if I just go into so just modifying that piece of content, you can just see that there's an open and close tag for courses, and this is more or less published one file then that looks at any course of a particular formatter. So if I go into the content type used for the course, and you can see there will be a separate formatter. So it's bringing all that information back for a course, like its subject area, the level, type, if it's an international course, and so on. So all this will come into the XML file, and then we're just using PHP here. So if I go to the page layouts. This is just the code then for all the PHP, and then it's pointing at the XML of all the courses. So that's just an example of search used using PHP pointing at an XML. And then the last example is UAEL. So it's more or less the same idea as what I showed you for University of Derby, but they're using JSP pointing at an XML of all the courses. And what I like about this as well is you can actually save these programs. You can actually compare the course as well. So it's nice and neat. So that's just an example of search using JSP pointing to an XML. And that's it. Is there any questions?